evening and welcome to our live crafting session this evening. My name is Jenny McCormack and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the market town of Brackley in Northamptonshire in the UK. Thank you for joining me. I do apologise, I'm a minute or two later than I intended. Just got carried away with some ideas and things that I was playing around with, and suddenly realised that it was indeed 1 minute to 7 and I hadn't actually set any of my video recording or anything else up ready. So I apologise for that, but we are here now. So welcome to you, and if you're watching live and you'd like to make a comment or ask any questions, then just pop something in the comment section. Do let me know who you are and where you're watching from if you would like to. And if you're watching on catch up or replay, and that might be on YouTube or Facebook, if you have any questions or queries about the products I've used or any of the techniques, then don't hesitate to pop those in the comment section as well. Hi Carol, I hope you're well. So let me show you what we created yesterday, and that was this card. I stamped the card yesterday but didn't colour it in the live. I did colour in the envelope because I was undecided whether I liked it coloured in or not, and I decided after I did the envelope that yes, I would colour it in. So after the live was finished, I went on and coloured this. Thank you, Carol. It's just such a pretty stamp. This is very much a Jenny stamp set for those of you who know me. And of course, having done that, I then decided I wanted to see it in some different colours. So I went on and created these two straight after. So this one in Gorgeous Grape, and then this one in Mango Melody. So the same layout, just slightly different format. This obviously is a square card. I still got 3 blooms in there. I also coloured in these leaves with mint macaron, whereas these ones I've left those leaves open. And the same on here. This was stamped in Pear Pizzazz, those leaves, and this one was stamped in Garden Green. So I've had a good bit of fun with those already, as you can see. So I thought I would introduce the dies this evening because they arrived literally during our live yesterday morning. So the dies, as well as cutting out the elements of the stamp set. So there are dies for these 2 flowers, these 2 leaves, and this little triple leaf down here. There are also dies for this really pretty pattern here. So this is how it is cut out, and then this one here. It also cuts out 3 slightly different shaped leaves. So I've just cut them out from a scrap of Granny Apple Green card that I happen to have to hand. So obviously you could use those for anything. And these 2 images I have cut using the dies from, and I've cut from the papers, but they are exactly the same as the stamps. So there's this one here. Yep, that's the right way around. And then this smaller one for the smaller flower, like so. But that also matches the stamp set, the stamps as well. This is actually 100% this image on the front, not normally 100%. So you've got lots of options. So you've got these 2 elements, and then you've got all of these, and also there are 3 other leaf dies as well. Hi Maretta, how are you feeling? I've got my fingers crossed that you're going to be okay for our team event on Sunday. Fingers crossed. So I thought I'd have a go with these and the papers. And so I have, because I haven't got any pretty peacock card, well I might have somewhere tucked away, I thought I would go for Calypso Coral, which is one of the colours in these papers. It's quite watered down. And what I've done is I pre-cut that die. If I just pop that on there for you to see, I pre-cut that die out. Now I thought this would be nice as an aperture card, but what I would say from my experience so far is that this element here is quite flimsy, so you would either need to use maybe 2 layers of card or thicker card, because I think it would be very easy to catch this. I mean, it would definitely work as an aperture card, don't get me wrong, but you'd need to, you know, just be a little bit careful. So what I plan to do is put a panel of paper behind, and then I'm going to put some flowers on here. Oh, Maretta, no. So I've got to decide which papers, and obviously these are all double-sided, and these all have this Calypso Coral Daffodil Delight combination. So let's have a look and see. So there's this one here, which has got the flowers behind. Hopefully you can see that okay. Perhaps I do need to, yes, I do need to lift it up a little bit. So this has got the individual flowers, and then we've got the yellow background with a little crisscross in there. I'm not sure that you can actually see that. This was the sheet that I cut those 2 flowers from, but hopefully there'll be enough in there on that right hand bit. Just going to turn it round to use that. So obviously that's a closer match in terms of colour, and we have that lovely sort of watercolour effect on the back. We've got this scene which has got some white on it, which also looks quite pretty. So I could pick out, there's a bit of soft sea foam in there, or I could go round to this bottom corner where there's a bit more of the coral and the sea foam, or I could cut an element here, or use the top corner. So that's a good contender. And then we've got this one here, which I think would also work quite nicely, because you could either focus on have that flower centrally, or you can have it at the top, and then we're going to stamp and have some cut out flowers underneath. And on the reverse of that we have the watercolour, which is also quite nice with that little bit of Daffodil Delight in it. Now the colours for you I don't think are as realistic obviously as I can see them in real life. And then we've got this one here that's got a little bit of the Calypso Coral going into the daffodil, and then more, probably more of the daffodil in the background. So I've really got to decide which pattern. My gut feel is either this one or this one with the scene. And you could pick out quite like that bottom left hand corner with the flowers. Now I know you can't see that in particular detail because it's looking to me on the screen quite white. So while I'm deliberating, And if you have any suggestions or ideas, let me know. That is quite nice too, because it's got a lot more coral. Or you could just have that backing, which would also work. So if you have any thoughts, let me know. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stamp. I'm just going to use this piece, which actually is going to be my inner for my card. So I'm going to stamp some of the flowers in coral, which is hiding underneath here. I have a complete clear of my desk this afternoon. Still can't find anything. Okay, so this is Calypso Coral, and I'm just going to pop one in there and just colour this in a little bit. See how pretty that is. But I am going to colour it in with Petal Pink. And let's just put a smaller flower. Now I'm not bothering to what's the word? Mask them off. I will put a piece of paper underneath there though. So let's just have this one here. And then I've got some of the leaves. And I've got mint macaron or soft sea foam for that. Let's just see what that looks like. No, that's fine. I did re-ink some of my ink pads this afternoon, you'll be pleased to hear. Okay, so this is just my inner. Okay, that will do for the minute. And I'm just going to colour this in really quickly with Petal Pink, light dark Petal Pink, because I just want it a little bit more detailed. I'll put the glasses off and then back on again and then off again. Right, I've got dark Petal Pink, so I'm just going to do the same as I did when I was colouring in the envelope yesterday. So just use the marks that the designer has left. And this is quite a new Petal Pink pen, so I am just using the brush end for speed, like so. And as I say, this will actually be the inner, but we're going to use some die cut ones of these on the outside, like so. So I hope everybody is well. I can't believe we're at Thursday, let alone March. And I've got a great team event coming up on Sunday, which I'm really looking forward to. So I'm just doing all the preparation for that. We've got coffee and card on tomorrow. So that's next on my preparation list this evening. Okay, so that's dark. And then this is the light, so I'm just going to blend that out a little bit. So there we go. This is my quick form of blending, and this design of stamp lends itself to that. You can, of course, blend and add a lot more detail if you wish, but my scribble blending definitely will work in this. And I can leave the centres white, which I quite like, or I could add a little bit of yellow to those. So that's actually going to be my inner. Because what I've done is I've done that already, and I've die cut these out. So this is the same. It's gone a little bit lighter. I used an older pen when I did these. So this is going to be my inside. These are going to go on the outside. And then the other thing I did was cut some of the leaves with some soft sea foam card, but I just went over with one of my blending brushes to add some green in places before I die cut it out. So I am going to pop a sentiment onto here from the set. So as I say, this is going to be our inner. Hi Kat, I hope you're well. Thank you for joining us. I think I'm just going to make this another thank you card. So I've got my thank you, and I'm going to use that same Calypso Coral. Now in this set of papers we've got a pretty peacock as well, but I don't have to hand the ink or the card because that's a returning colour. Hopefully I've got that fairly straight. Yes. Okay, so that's going to go inside our card. Let me move these out of the way. So I've got some leaves and I've got a couple of flowers. So I just need to decide what I'm going to put behind here. So I can either put some flowers like that with these behind and some leaves, or just a plain piece. Actually I could stamp a sentiment there as well, or I've got this little sort of scene, so I could bring in this bottom part that's got the soft sea foam, like so, or the little sort of check design. Oh, that's quite nice. I rather like that actually. And I could pick out the lighter part of that. What do we think? Any preferences? So what I'm actually going to do is cut a square that is just slightly bigger than this die cut shape and attach it to the back of this front piece. So decisions. I do quite like that. So I could bring these in quite a way, like so. Oh dear, dear, dear. Thank you, Marita. Just gone for the dotty background, which is this one here. Just about see the dots. Perfect. Thank you. I mean, this is pretty too, don't get me wrong. So all I'm going to do is just measure this aperture, and this is just under 9, and it should be 9. So what I'm going to do is cut a piece of this 9.5 by 9.5. And it doesn't really matter which part of this I choose. So there's 9.5. Right, 9.5. There we go. So I've deliberately kept that because I can use that for some strips in different ways rather than just cutting the whole thing out. So the plan is this is going to go behind that aperture there, and hopefully I've cut that straight, which I have. So all I'm going to do is just position this on the back centrally, and I have added, hi Kerry, good morning to you. I've added another piece of the Calypso Coral card. Now I could leave this way round if I wanted to, but I'm actually going to cover it up. So the best thing to do for this is either put a very small amount right round the edge, or put a small amount around this circular edge here. So because this is going to be sandwiched in between, I am just going to add a little bit of glue around this aperture. And I guess actually it doesn't matter if it's outside, because I'm actually going to cover up the whole bit anyway. But what you don't want is for it to be leaking out the inside. And I'm going to put a couple of dots on these larger little circles. Just so they stick down and don't get caught. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so I've got it the right way around for my card, and I'm just popping that on there. Just pressing it lightly and making sure that I haven't got any gaps. And then I'm going to pop this piece on top. And I've got my seal to hand, so I'm just going to use that for speed, like so. And this card is 12 centimetres squared, so actually 12 by 24 obviously. So this is going to go on the inside, so I can do that at the same time. Like that. So there's my inside, this is my front, and now I can add my stamped and die cut flowers, and then the leaves as well. So I think I'm going to pop these up on dimensionals and curve them a little bit. Don't really want tiny dimensionals. There we go. So I hope everybody is keeping well. It's certainly a beautiful day here today, cold but beautiful. Okay, so there's that one. Just do the same with this one. And if you're careful, you can do it with the leaves as well, just to give them a little bit of interest. Doesn't matter whether you curl them up or back. So the flowers are going to go on with dimensionals, and then I'm going to tuck the leaves underneath. And because they're quite fine, I'm going to attach those with glue. So 2, 3. Oh, hi Karen. I hope you're well over in Canada. Hope the weather's been kind to you at the minute. Okay, so I've got one flower in there. On here. So these elements are stamped, but you could use the papers if you prefer. And obviously if you're stamping, you can make this absolutely any colour and cut out your panel to suit. So let's pop that one there like that. And then I'm going to tuck these leaves in. Just going to put a little bit of glue on the reverse. Just on the bottom of that. And your secret is not to put your fingers in any loose glue. Use a bone folder or scissors or a pen, a ruler, anything really. Otherwise, when you're dealing with small bits like this, it's easy to get it all everywhere. So let's have a look. If I do it maybe like so. It will work. And if the leaves are too big and sticking out too much, just chop the bottom end off. Oh, a little warmer. Good, I'm pleased about that. I know there's been a lot of snow in various parts of Canada and America. There's that one. And I'm going to tuck this one in here. And they look different colours because I used a blending brush on them. You could also use a blends pen. Just scribble a little bit of green onto either a white card or another green card, a lighter green card, and you get this nice sort of variegated element. Like so. There we go. So there's our die cut element there, and our flowers, and then that's our inside, like so. And you could stamp a small sentiment in there. You could also stamp, if I thought about it before I put the panel in, I could have put these little dots in on here, and I could even try and do that just to tie it all in together. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to ink up part of the stamp. So just going to ink up this very top part, like so. There we go. So that's just filled in that little gap. Hope you can see that. Not sure whether you can or not. And I could also put some of these dots around the outside. Now I've got to be a bit careful because I know I've got this border on the inside from this piece. So let's just do this around the edge. Just going to bend that in a little bit. That's it. It's always nice to see dotty stamps. They can cover a multitude of sins and they can give the impression of movement as well. There we go. Could add a bit of bling to finish it off. And I'm pretty sure I've got some Calypso Coral sequins. Let me grab those. In one of my 2 sequin packets, and I did sort them, and in one packet I had coloured sequins, and now they're all mixed up again. So, Sweet Sorbet, no, it's not that one. So I hope you like this new suite that is available. It's called Irresistible Blooms, and it has, as I say, the matching papers. I've got them. Yes, it's the other ones of those would have worked. You'll just have to amuse yourselves for a minute. I am sorry. I do apologise. Well, would you believe I can't find them? Ah, there I can. There they are. That's what I was after. I knew I had a few left. So there's these ones here. So they're quite big. But put them on these little circles here. There's one there, one there, and finally one over here. There we go. I got there in the end. Hopefully you can see that shining just about. Oh, thank you, Karen. So there we go. That is it for today. So I hope you like that. If you didn't catch the other cards from yesterday, these are those, and they are just stamped and coloured in. I've got Early Espresso coloured in with Mango Melody. This one is Gorgeous Grape coloured in with Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape, and this one is Night of Navy coloured in with Balmy Blue. So I hope you like those, but I think that's rather sweet. I could add a sentiment on a strip or emboss in white on the Calypso Coral, and then it's got a little thank you and those same ones inside. So there we go. Thank you so much. I won't be online tomorrow, Friday. I'm not normally online Friday. I was last week because I was playing catch up. But you can see me. I suddenly realised I was out of picture. Sorry. But you'll be able to see me Monday morning, 10 AM UK time. And we'll have a new stamp set of the week. And that will be revealed probably Monday, but possibly tomorrow, because it will probably be what we're using for Coffee and Card. So watch this space for more detail. Thank you so much, everybody. Do take care. Enjoy your morning, afternoon or evening. Sorry I've gone on a bit longer than I should have done, but hopefully you've enjoyed the projects. I will obviously photograph this latest one outside and in, and you'll also be able to catch that on YouTube. Thank you so much everyone. Do take care, look after yourselves and your loved ones. I hope you can keep crafting. Bye for now.